Hey everyone, it's been a while, but here we are again with another gadget unboxing and review. Today we've got an exciting unboxing and first impression review of the brand new Samsung Galaxy A55 256 gigabytes storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM variant. If you're as excited as I am, hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome content. All right, let's dive right in and unbox this beauty. Let's take a look at what's inside this sleek Samsung Galaxy A55 box. First up, we have the Samsung A55 itself, neatly wrapped. Let's set that aside for a moment and see what else we have in the box. We've got the USB-C to USB-C charging cable, the usual paperworks, and a SIM ejector. No charging adapter or headphones, but that's pretty standard with Samsung phones these days. But thankfully, the store we bought this from gave us a free 25-watt Samsung charger. Now for the main event, the Samsung A55. Taking off the wrapper, we can immediately feel the premium build quality. The 6.6-inch Super AMOLED Gorilla Glass Victus Plus front panel looks solid. It's got a smooth, glossy glass finish at the back, which is also Gorilla Glass. That feels great in the hand. That is, if you don't mind it being fingerprint magnet. It has an aluminum brush finish on the sides, flattened compared to last year's A54, which is a bit more rounded. Volume rocker and power button on the sides, SIM card and micro SD tray on the top, and at the bottom we have the stereo speaker and USB-C charging port. Now let's check out the camera. The A55 sports a triple camera setup with a 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 5 megapixel macro lens. This camera setup lets you shoot videos at 4K 30 frames per second or 1080p up to 60 frames per second with gyro EIS for image stabilization. At the front, we have a 32 megapixel selfie lens that can also shoot at 4K 30 frames per second videos. All right, let's power this baby on and see what it's all about. While it's booting up, let's talk specs. The Samsung A55 comes with a powerful Exynos 1480 octa-core processor, Xclipse 530 GPU based on the RDNA 2 architecture, 256 gigabytes of internal storage, and 8 gigabytes of RAM. That's plenty of space for all your apps, photos, and videos. There are other variants available, though, like 128 gigabytes with 6 gigabytes, or 8 gigabytes of RAM, or the 256 gigabytes, 6 gigabytes, or 12 gigabytes combo. Here we can see it has a new quick settings screen where you can see the usual bunch of quick action icons grouped together, which you can also customize with your own sets of icons. And the settings screen where you have the usual settings to customize various functions and personalization for your phone. Over the display settings, there are also a bunch of adjustments that you set like adaptive brightness, motion smoothness, where you can choose to go adaptive for smoother animations adjustment up to 120 Hz or standard if you want to save on battery life. There's also the screen mode setting where you can select between vivid and natural, adjust white balance, or go to advanced settings for more detailed customization. For the battery, it has the same 5,000 milliamp battery as its predecessor, but for some folks, they say it can last around 2 days on casual use. Pretty decent battery life. Fingerprint sensor is pretty decent as well, although it took me a while setting up and registering my fingerprint, but nevertheless, it registers and unlocks smoothly using fingerprint. It still uses the old school optical sensor that has been since forever for these phones. For bundled softwares, you'll have the usual stuff plus some grouped apps for Samsung, Google, and Microsoft. Now for screen display, aside from being bigger than last year's A54, the screen specs are basically the same, so if you're upgrading from its predecessor, your viewing experience is otherwise unchanged. The A55 has a Super AMOLED 120Hz 6.6-inch screen Full HD 2340 by 1080p resolution. Although it is technically lower in pixel density compared to A54 due to its bigger size, at 390 pixels per inch, the screen is pretty sharp for its size. Colors are bold and vivid. This AMOLED display is very much the same as their flagship S series. So I'm not complaining since you are getting this by just paying half the price. Now for the camera. As I have previously mentioned, the triple camera setup has a 50 megapixel main sensor, 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 5 megapixel macro lens. My overall experience and results for the A55's camera were pretty impressive for this class of device, with accurate exposure and fairly good texture when shooting in decent light conditions. There are a bunch of features and shooting modes to choose from, which Samsung users might have likely been utilizing for the past years. Let's take a look at some of the sample photos I took from this phone. Overall, the A55 5G might not impress those accustomed to Samsung's flagship smartphones, but it's an appealing option for users who don't need a high-end device. This likely includes the majority of people, even if they don't openly acknowledge it. Moreover, the A55 delivers a user experience that is surprisingly close to the S24 series, despite costing only a third of the price. Although it currently lacks the Galaxy AI features introduced with the S24, these might be added in a future update. In terms of screen quality, camera performance, build, and battery life, the A55 has almost everything you could desire. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you find this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech insights.